Awesome date, October 20th, 2008. Awesome topic. Good, bad, we're the guys with the OSMcast. Congratulations to you, because you're listening to us. We're the OSMcast.
And we finally have Eric back.
Yay!
About freaking time. I mean, yay.
What's up, guys?
Also, I'm Basil.
I am Lee.
Then I guess I'm Eric, if y'all haven't figured that one out.
And that's us. So, yeah.
Man, it's getting to be that time of year in the video gaming industry, isn't it? It's,
where everything comes out.
Yeah, everything's releasing at once. I think the big one from this week was Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
Then don't forget Saints Row 2.
Saints Row 2.
It's already sold 1 million copies.
God.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have underestimated it.
I haven't gotten to play any Dead Space yet, largely because I'm poor, but it looks really, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. I heard it's written by Warren Ellis, too, or the original story was, so...
Well, see, apparently a lot of people are comparing it now, actually, to not so much a Resident Evil style game, but actually a Metroid style game.
Yeah, I've heard it's a very Metroidvania style, because you go back and forth in the ship all the time,
right,
to pick up items. Like, you'll get a quest to get this one item, which will unlock new parts of that. And it's also not very survival horror, because there are apparently save points everywhere, and you're also constantly fighting monsters. So there's no, creeping around for the most part, and there's one guy in a room. It's usually like, oh shit, 20 monsters are attacking me, die.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how Resident Evil 4 ended up at the end, but still.
Well,
It's stretching the boundaries of genres there.
Well, we're not going to stretch any boundaries. We're going to move straight within our own boundaries. So our next stop is the world of awesome. So, apparently, in the world of piracy, Bethesda's Pete Hines says they were spending a lucrative amount of money on pirates. Like, apparently they're like, yeah, they're talking like developers talk, and apparently they're like, yeah, it's 50% of our customer support. Which means half the people who call them to get help with their games are actually using the pirated versions and not the actual bought copy of the games.
How would they know that? I mean, how would they...
Yeah, exactly.
How do you figure
those
numbers?
They did an entire, interview with it, and a lot of it is stuff, and I understood a lot by working retail, where it's a lot of the mannerisms, how they speak, how they talk, Well, there's a lot of times where I've got people who will try to bring in games where they don't work. They're scratched to hell and back, and they'll go, hey, what's what we're talking about? You don't put no refurb fee on my game. And I'm like, yes, I am. Well, because it doesn't work.
That's a completely different situation. I mean, that you can see the game doesn't work. You can test that the game doesn't work. We decided from the mannerisms and talking styles of people over the phone that they're stealing our game. That's a little stretch to me.
I'm sure they could also check, numbers, possibly, serial IDs and stuff.
But I thought you were talking about for customer support, where it's stuff like, are you talking about like where the game won't load, or are you talking about, okay.
A lot of people were having issues with the game working, and they were having to call them to get the game working.
That's really silly. God, the piracy has gone so mainstream if they're calling the tech support lines to get their help after they stole the game.
But in the other side of horrible piracy, in a wonderful piracy, I guess you could say, the Mother 3 translation has just hit.
Oh, hell yeah!
The same series, the sort of Earthbound 2 is the other title you could put to it.
Ugh. Just selective piracy. Come on, guys. Either be on one side of the fence on this or the other.
Wait, I'm going to buy the cartridge.
You're gonna go buy the Japanese. You really are. You're gonna go
Yes.
buy the Japanese Mother 3 Game Boy cartridge. Show that to me to justify. Now, okay, if you do that, you're fine then.
Okay, here's my take on it. If there's something you can't get in your own language in the country, I'm not saying that pirating is right, but it's more. I don't know. I'm willing to slide with it more.
There is a difference of getting a Japanese ROM, patching it to be in English, rather than, say, getting Apollo Justice a week before the actual retail game hits, beats it, and then waves it in my face.
I only did that once.
That he beat it.
I only did that once.
Or getting the Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates a week early, going, yeah, hey, it's Crystal Chronicles. Playing it.
Did I have
in
the
front of
US
you.
one a week early? I thought I only had the Japanese one.
You get the DS one, too.
Okay.
Well,
I don't even remember.
It doesn't matter. The point is that with the mother one, you either pirate it or you're never going to fucking get it. That's when it comes down to that choice. Some people are willing to go piracy.
Yeah.
If it helps, I'll go buy Secret of Mana that now is on the Virtual Console.
Why would that help?
Because it's Secret of Mana, and you like Secret of Mana.
You have Secret of Mana is the one Super Nintendo cartridge I happen to know you still own.
I was trying to segue so you could talk about how wonderful Secret of Mana was, and now it's on the Virtual Console.
Oh, okay. Hey,
And
Secret
so
of
we
Mana's
can-
on the Virtual Console, guys, and it's
Man.
awesome.
Secret of Mana is awesome. I wish the third game in the series also.
Yes, Seiken Daisetsu 3. Why have you not released?
That was such an awesome game. That was like before they started going to crap.
No, there is a translation patch that everybody needs to pick up if no one's played.
I have. Unless-
Secret of Mana 3.
But, yeah, it's also good. But the Mother 3 one, this has been, over a decade in the making.
Has Mother 3 really been out for a decade?
Not quite, but it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't think it's been a decade.
It's a GBA game, so it's been about 6 or 7 years, maybe. And I just don't understand why Nintendo never sought to release it, because people kept...
They hate us.
They just don't think they can make money off it. It's just...
I heard that it's that, plus there are there's some stuff in the game that's not as kiddie as the game seems, like gay characters and
Who
shit.
cares?
There's
Nintendo's
that.
supposed to be making games for everybody now. So it
They
should be...
apparently care.
Yeah, it was... Screw them, I'm going to pirate it. Meh. But the translation, what little I've played, has been really good. It's actually by a guy who's actually done professional work in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He actually is the translator for Crayon Shin-Chan
Ah.
and some other things. So this is sort of his labor of love, and he's what I've read, it's been really good so far. I've only played the first 5 or 10 minutes, and it's everything I could have imagined.
Mm.
You can talk to cows, and they say moo. and it tells you it's a really important thing to keep in mind. That's what cows do, is they say moo. So, it's good stuff. Speaking of things that have nothing to do with cows, if you happen to play Burnout Paradise online on the Xbox 360 and are in the background state, chances are you've seen ads for Obama's campaign.
Hey, Canada of the future, baby.
I thought it was really interesting, especially after him telling kids have parents to be good parents and don't let their kids play video games all the time and let them go out and do homework.
Well, remember, he's not target when he puts that out. He's targeting guys our age. He's targeting 20-year-olds.
Totally.
He's not trying to target kids. Now he's getting kids when he does that, but he's targeting 20-somethings.
And apparently, it's actually through the EA suite of sports games. It turns out just people play Burnout more than any of them. Apparently, it's in Madden and NASCAR and NBA Live and Need for Speed.
I knew it was in Madden. I've seen it in Madden.
But I thought that was really interesting. Apparently, during the Tokyo Game Show, there was also a concert that was being held in the same weekend. It was their annual Hyper Game Music event. And Chris Kohler did an entire sort of review of the event. And apparently, they opened up with the DS10 Trio, which was, they were 3 actual composers that were using the new Korg DS10 synthesizer.
Yeah, the new synthesizer.
It was Michio Kama, who is a member of the Black Mages, which is
The Final Fantasy
the
remix group led by the lead composer.
Uematsu, the composer. The guy who composed the Ridge Racer tunes, Nobuyoshi Sano, and everyone's favorite Yasunori Mitsuda, who did stuff for like Chrono Trigger and Xenogears and Xenosaga and stuff.
I love his music.
And apparently they opened up with a theme using the DSs with versions of the Chocobo theme and apparently the opening number from Chrono Cross. Which, while I'm not a huge fan of the game, the soundtrack is amazing.
That opening song is... Whew.
And I thought it was really interesting they would open up with playing DSs for a concert. Like, I thought that was really interesting. And what's even more interesting that later on this year we're actually going to get the Korg 10,
which is
in America. Yeah, well, it's a synthesizer.
Yep.
It's sort of it's a music making software that's on the DS, and you can fool around with the DS and make beats and stuff and tunes.
Yeah.
Now, what's not so cool is that apparently right now you can only order it through GameStop, Amazon. Because GameStop is apparently refusing to carry it, as well as other retailers.
Yeah, a lot of places aren't carrying it because they're scared. It's people will buy it, think it's like a music game, like a Rock Band or something like that, and get it home, and it's not. I mean, there's nothing to play.
Is it something that's more for somebody who knows what they're doing because it's a synthesizer?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to know what you're doing. It's basically just. I don't want to call it a curiosity, but it's just it's a really niche program for people who know what they're doing and own DSs.
Like, I'm sure that Inabita will love it.
Yeah.
And really, I'm telling everyone this so if they're interested, they can buy it. Mostly so that when Inabita edits this, he's going to like, oh yeah, I need to buy it. So you should buy it.
Yeah, buy it.
Go to Amazon, you buy that. Want to hear some OSMcast tunes on your DS.
Of course, all these people will carry Wii Music, which isn't a game either.
It's just stupid.
It's just stupid.
The cover art's pretty. The cover art is
They're
very
really
pretty.
pimping that game. I just don't think it's,
Well, it's in the era of things like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and Rock Revolution,
which came out today.
Which came out yesterday.
Today. No, it's the 14th, so 6 days ago now, I guess.
What came out? You mumbled it.
Oh, Rock Revolution.
Rock Revolution. It's
it?
Konami's version of Rock Band, but you can't actually buy any instruments for it. You have to use Rock Band instruments to play it.
Or Guitar Hero instruments.
Or Guitar Hero instruments.
They'll eventually come out with their own drums, but
yeah,
they're the most god-awful pieces of Fisher-Price equipment that's not Wii Music ever.
So basically they said, if you already own this better game with instruments for it, you can play our game.
You can play our game, yeah.
Wow. Way to go, Konami.
Song list kind of sucks, too.
Yeah, it's half the songs are either in, the new Rock Band
or Guitar Hero.
Don't forget, what's that song that's in every music game ever? It's The Man You Like.
Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet?
Yeah, that one.
Are You Gonna Be My
They've
Girl
got
by
that one,
Jet?
'cause
which is in every music. That was in Donkey Kong.
It's in Donkey Kong. And like Taiko Drum Master.
Taiko Drum Master.
It's been in everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in Samba de Amigo.
I haven't looked.
Well, we'll check. I'm going to get Somebody Amigo.
That is a fun game.
Yeah, it's fun.
Anime Club just had a tournament for it.
And I won.
Is it out?
Yeah.
I didn't know Somebody Amigo for Wii was out.
Yeah, it's out. It's out for almost a month now.
Why did anybody tell me this?
You can also buy like a Maraca
yes, you can buy Maraca attachments for the Wii. It's your fucker's job to keep me informed of
You
things
haven't
like
been
that.
on the OSMcast. What can we do? You've been at work.
I've been at internet. I've been on the internet. Ugh. Well,
speaking of news that we've gotten on the internet, Capcom's also making a full-length Street Fighter 4 anime.
Yay.
It could be good.
Sort of want.
Since Street Fighter 4 is taking place between Street Fighter 2 and 3, that apparently...
2 and 4.
No, 2 and 3.
Yeah, Street
Oh,
Fighter.
right.
4
3
takes-
is afterwards. Okay,
3 is
I'm
after,
confused.
yeah.
And apparently this is going to, I think, lead into explaining what happened from 2 into 4 and introduce stuff.
Man, that is
Are we going to get Ryo and Ken's master in this?
We might get
Because
Shinra.
he's in the game. Shinra's in the game.
And apparently, it's being done by Studio 4C, which is the same folks who were doing the promotional animation clips which did feature their master. So
it did feature Shinra. So.
They apparently had scenes with featuring Cammy,
Damn.
Ryu fighting Crimson Viper, and Sakura fighting Chun-Li.
Yay, Sakura's back.
There was an animated Dan. There's an animated Dan clip for 4. I know they're in some of the preview stuff, that not the gameplay previews, but the animation previews. I know Dan was showing.
I think they've announced Dan to be in the console version. So
I don't think so. Sakura was the last one they announced, and they were thinking about Cammy. Which is,
I bet Dan will get in there.
Yeah, Dan better get in there.
Dan
it's
is
Dan.
awesome.
It's Dan.
He's Dan's man. And then finally, at least what I got. Don't worry, folks. Dan Aykroyd says Ghostbusters is okay.
Yay!
It's been picked up by Atari.
But it won't be out till next year, probably to coincide with the Ghostbusters 15th or 20th or whatever anniversary it is.
You know, oddly enough, he said this on a Dallas radio station during an interview. 105.3 KLLI.
The Dead Fish. Oh, I mean, whatever it's called.
The Dead Fish.
That'd be a great radio name.
That'd be an awesome radio name.
The Dead Fish.
Glub glub.
Fish ain't dead. It's not our radio station.
The dead fish, we're going to turn your world upside down and float at the top of the bowl.
That's genius.
That's already ZYP.
So, yeah, pretty much.
Well, in my own news, I have been playing Silent Hill Homecoming, and while it's not perfect, it's a damn fun ride so far. I'm really liking it.
Silent Hill Homecoming? Does that mean there's undead cheerleaders and are you part of the undead prep squad at the Silent Hill High School?
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome Silent Hill. Now I want that Silent Hill.
Now it's a soldier coming back from war to find that his town, which neighbors Silent Hill, is all fucked up. It's got revised and they've really done the combat some good justice for the first time in Silent Hill, where you can easily, dodge, fly around. There are different powered attacks you can combo. And
but doesn't that defeat the purpose of Silent Hill to have good combat?
No, to me, you can have good combat and still make it where you don't have enough bullets and things are always trying to kill you. And these monsters are really fucking tough. So, but yeah, in a way, I guess it does.
I mean, I'm not a Silent Hill fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's just from talking to other people, I've always heard that part of the reason that Silent Hill, whenever I've said, well, Silent Hill has bad combat, I've always it's supposed to have bad combat because you're not an awesome fighter. You're just,
Well, this guy's back.
Of course, this guy's a soldier.
Yeah.
He's back from war, so.
So I actually enjoy being able to go toe to toe with monsters and then realize I don't have enough health drinks and get killed. That part not as much, but it's an enjoyable experience so far.
You still have to be good at it. I mean, it's while you're better at your ducking and weaving, and I've seen Lee do some ducking and weaving. And I've actually seen Lee, the one where I think it's more fun in this game is actually watching Lee explain what he did to the boss. In this game, he hops around. It's cute. But, not to embarrass you or anything.
That's okay. My whole life, nothing.
Anywho, it is interesting to see it, and the enemies will duck and weave and fight right back. It's actually not, and it's not the greatest combat in the world. I wouldn't say it's as good as, say, even RE4's combat. It's good for Silent Hills.
Man, survival horror is the big genre right now, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Silent Hill, Dead Space, Resident Evil 5.
It does seem like this is more of a Silent Hill design for actual people who played video games.
Yeah.
And and while the story tries to go the whole Silent Hill 2-ish route, it doesn't quite succeed. It's still interesting. It's still scary enough to really, I don't know, I'm enjoying it. If you're a real diehard fan and you want it to be like a Team Silent made thing, you may be a bit disappointed or really disappointed depending on what kind of fan you are. But I'm liking it, and I think it's well done so far. I haven't beat it yet, so we shall see.
Let's see. The only thing is, anybody who's a Jim Butcher fan that reads this, and you all should be.
I am now.
His new Harry Dresden Universe novella, Backup, which is actually about Thomas, who's Harry Dresden's brother.
Yeah, Thomas.
Depending on where you are, has either released or is going to release next week.
Yeah.
Apparently, it got done from the printers and. Some places like Amazon, or if you pre-ordered from Jim Butcher's website himself, you've already got it. Other places, I know Barnes & Noble doesn't have it yet. I think Books A Million did have it, so it's kind of...
Yeah, I go through a local bookstore and they haven't gotten it in yet.
Yeah, so it's one of those your mileage may vary kind of things, but everybody should go pick that up if you're a fan at all of his work.
And they've also got the first trade paperback, or trade hardcover back of the comic.
Yeah.
They're about to collect that and release it.
of Welcome to the Jungle.
We should do a Harry Dresden podcast sometime. I mean, I'm still reading. I'm up to the middle of Deadbeat, but
We already do.
No, we never did Harry.
We never did
Harry
Harry
Dresden.
Dresden?
no, it
Oh,
deserves.
we definitely need to do Harry Dresden then.
That one will need to break it up in chunks.
Break it. That's a month.
There's a
of Harry
lot of
Dresden.
books in that series right now.
It's like 3 books per 3 books per OSMcast at the moment. You know,
Yeah,
that'd be.
well, that might be an interesting idea. We might do that.
Mm.
But tonight, we're going to, or in the morning, or whenever you listen to this,
Yeah. At the moment,
we're trying with things that are awesome. You know, continue on with sort of our Halloween-y, October-ish bent. We looked at the more the brutal side of horror, or intelligent horror, with Silent Hill last week. We're taking a little bit a U-turn in a different direction
time for slapstick horror.
with the series by
Director Sam Raimi, actor Bruce Campbell, and producer Rob Tapert. I think that's how you say his name.
the series of The Evil Dead.
God, what a crappy name.
What the fuck was that? Your sister has turned into a zombie. What the fuck was that? Your girlfriend was a demon too. What the fuck was that? She just ripped my pre-ripped Abercrombie. What the fuck was that? I got some Shelly on my shoe. What darkness lurks beyond this wooden sanctum? What the fuck was that? Dude, these hoes been zombified.
Evil Dead 1 was filmed in 1982, I believe. I could be wrong. I know it came out in 1983, and it took them a year to film and create. Basically, a bunch of guys from up near Detroit in Michigan wanted to be in the film industry, and this included Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. And they were goofing off and filming their own little 8mm movies and doing all sorts of stuff. And they decided they wanted to make a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
And so they sat down, and when they worked it out, they were like, well, what's the kind, most of what they had done so far was comedy. But comedy required big-name actors and large sets and big things. What can we do cheaply? What is the cheapest kind of film we can make?
Zombies.
Horror didn't require any kind of big name actors. It was all back in the day of the golden age of slasher horror. It was all nobody actors that you'd see in 1, maybe 2 movies and never again. It was required nothing pretty much but gallons of blood, some few fake body parts, and a willingness to go a little crazy.
Yes.
So they, after much machinations, which I'm going to go to here, they loaded up a car, drove down to Morristown, Tennessee. I think that's the city in
Something
Tennessee
like
where
that.
it was. It's near Knoxville. I think it's Morristown, Tennessee, and rented a cabin out in the woods and filmed Evil Dead 1. It was a true horror film, unlike the later films, which they sat down and were all like...
And put more and more slapstick.
more slapstick humor.
Because they could afford the comedy.
But there was plenty of comedy in it, just because,
It was bad.
none of these guys were trained actors. They'd never really done anything before. To give you, this was all done on a shoestring budget. I know Tom Savani? I can't remember the makeup artist's name. But I know I was in Bruce Campbell's book. He mentions that all the bone props were made with chicken bones, like from KFC, and stuff like that. And that actually, when the guy left about halfway through the filming, that his room, they couldn't figure out what the smell was. Like there was this awful smell, and And later, they found tons of bones just stashed everywhere, like rotting chicken all over his.
Nice.
So it's a lot like Ben's house, actually. None of you guys know that, but that was a low blow there. But
So what is The Evil Dead?
well, essentially the plot is pretty simple. A bunch of kids, college age kids, want to go to this cabin in the woods. Basically, it's to spend the weekend drinking and fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Though they don't come right out and say that. That's pretty
Right.
much what it is. And they find a tape recorder and a book where this professor, or I think he's a professor in the first movie. I know he is in the second movie. Was translating the book Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead. Of the Dead is actually that would mean Book of the Dead of the Dead.
Yes,
but
it makes it more badass.
They turn the tape recording on, and it has some, to quote the professor, phonetic translations of the text. In other words, he's reading the book, and reading this causes the dark ones, the spirits from beyond or whatever, to rise up. Rape a woman with some trees, which then
I heard about that.
Turns her evil, and so it goes.
Trees will do that to you.
Trees will do that to you.
And don't they continually possess people and kill them off?
Continually possess people, killing them one by one until only Ash, played by Bruce Campbell, remains. Which was actually a pretty decent innovation in the kind of horror they were doing at the time, because it was an almost universal thing that the last person to survive in a horror movie was a buxom girl. Mm-hmm. Like, a hot girl was the survivor. It's who survived. And Evil Dead didn't do that. Probably mainly because all of the women that were involved in it ran screaming away from the set about halfway through filming. And several shots of zombie women in makeup are actually men in makeup, not only to make them look like zombies, but to make them look like women. But it had a lot of neat things in it. There's a moment in Evil Dead, which is probably the only actual thoughtful moment of Evil Dead, when Bruce Campbell's character's killed all of his friends, everyone's dead, and he's sitting there alone in a cabin, and they're all actually corpses. There's no sign there's anything but dead friends around him. And he looks in the mirror, and he's like muttering to himself, and he pokes at the mirror, and the mirror ripples like it's water. Mm-hmm. And for that 1 second, the first time you watch the film, you think, maybe he's just crazy and he's just killed all his friends. Like, maybe all of this is just in his head. Mm-hmm. And that was a brilliant little moment, and it's one of the things that makes the movie. And then you can also play the drinking game, which is every time Bruce Campbell gets hit, take a drink.
We don't want you to die. So.
Yeah, we don't want you to die, so try to cut it maybe half a shot every time Bruce Campbell's character gets.
And another thing that I thought was pretty innovative that I haven't tracked down Evil Dead, because from what I understand, it's actually kind of hard to find. Is it still true that it's hard to find the first one?
There's been a bunch of DVD releases. The problem is finding it in not the $30 Book of the Dead edition, because they released this edition that looked like the Necronomicon, and it's got nothing basically on it except for that neat packaging. I own it. Mm-hmm. But all the cheap versions have vanished. I guess you can get them, usually around Halloween you can buy them for like $10 at Walmart. But
well, I'll look for it then, because anyways, at the very end or some such area, they don't actually show the evil thing that's coming after Ash. They show it from his perspective. The thing's perspective. It just goes, right toward. It's awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it does do another thing, which was that at the end of the movie, Ash manages to banish the demon, so he thinks, by burning the book of the dead. And you think, oh, yay, it's dawn. Dawn is here. You know, everything must be happy because it's daylight.
Yeah.
When suddenly the monster thing from the woods that Ash has never fought or attacked in any way, just through the demons, crashes through the house, slams into him, and sends him flying, and the movie ends. Mm-hmm. And you never, in the end, it was suggested he's dead, like, that the thing attacks him.
Right.
And, but then they needed more money after Crime Wave, so...
Yes. And apparently, during Crime Wave, they wrote this second one and finally got somebody... I don't remember who I was reading about this. Someone got interested in funding it. And
I don't think it got written during Crime Wave. What happened was that they decided... Sam Raimi made his first real studio picture. Mm-hmm. It was a very terrible film called Crime Wave that totally bombed. It didn't even really get released in theaters. I think it got released in Arizona and like one other state.
Like I've never heard of Crime Wave until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, like 20 theaters. It was a terrible movie. Bruce Campbell was supposed to star in it, and the studio came back and said no, he's not a good enough actor, and made him cast somebody else. And
fools.
Anyway, they kind of needed money. They needed something to something to fall back on. So they made Evil Dead 2, and it was Stephen King really liked their film.
Yeah,
their
he liked the first one.
Yeah, he saw the first one. He really liked it. In fact, he pretty much is what got their first film sold. Because at the Cannes Film Festival, he was there hawking something else, and he saw it. And his quote is like the most ferociously original horror film of the year, or something like that. And they begged him to put it on, let them put it on their promotional materials, and he agreed, and it pretty much got their film sold. Well, he was, they were interviewing cast people and couldn't get the funding for Evil Dead 2. And one of the cast people they interviewed was also working on the Stephen King film, what's the one with the cars?
The car,
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
I think it was Maximum Overdrive is what she was working on. And she went and talked to Stephen King and to Dino De Laurentiis, I think I'm saying his name right, who was putting up the money for that film. And she happened to mention, I'm also doing this Evil Dead movie, but they're having trouble getting financing. Well, about 2 weeks later, Stephen King talked to Dino De Laurentiis, and he called them, and blah blah blah, and boom, they had financing set up. So Stephen King has actually pretty much been responsible for giving these guys their start in the film industry.
Oh, wow.
It's
not just about the Dark Tower anymore.
Yeah. Oh, don't mention the last Dark Tower books. Come on. Steven, get off of the mouthwash and rewrite Dark Tower 4 through 7 or whatever. Rewrite all of them.
Stop. Anyway, so this ended up with Evil Dead 2.
It ended up with Evil Dead 2. And Evil Dead is a dark comedy horror film. It's one of the strangest, most genre-crossing little films I think I've ever encountered.
Oh my god, I loved it.
I mean, you've got this guy cutting his own girlfriend up, cutting her head off. And then you've got a giant head coming up and grabbing someone inside the film at the end. But at the same time, there was a cutscene where Bruce Campbell was fighting his girlfriend's tongue, her zombie tongue, and there's a scene in there where he's looking at a zombified, possessed moose head and laughing up and down with it. So it's one of these really weird,
Now, was this one where he got the chainsaw? Or
this is where he gets the chainsaw. This is, in fact... Evil Dead 2 is sort of a sequel and sort of a reboot. Basically, the first 20 minutes of the movie are retelling the original film.
Because I was always confused whether it was a remake or a...
What the first 20 minutes of the film were supposed to be is a condensed version of Evil Dead 1. Technically, Evil Dead 1 is still the canon what happened...
But they just slide it in here.
They just slide it in here. I think they were having trouble getting the rights to their film back or something like that. I can't actually remember why they did that. But anyway.
Or because no one ever saw
it. Maybe because no one saw Evil Dead 1. Who knows. But, anyway, It opens up with Ash being... You just take Evil Dead 1, the thing knocks him. In Evil Dead 2, you see that the thing possessed him, but the sunlight really did drive away the evil force, which kind of sucked, and unpossesses him. And it wakes up with Ash waking up and then doing the only smart thing any person's ever done in a horror film ever. He looks around and thinks, I'm getting the fuck out of here. This is crazy. No, he doesn't try to fight it. He doesn't go, oh, my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. No, he thinks, get the fuck out. No other considerations. Now, he can't because the evil forces apparently destroyed the bridge that leads the road out from the cabin. And on his way, and before he can find an alternate route, the Evil Dead force the sun sets and the Evil Dead force attacks him again. But it is, I must say, the only smart thing anybody has ever done in a horror film.
Is realize, oh god, this is
bad. This is messed up. I gotta get out of here.
It's like if people wander into Silent Hill, they never go, oh, this place is really fucked up, I need to leave. They're always, no. Well, they usually have a reason, but that's beside the point.
And there's some machinations. The Professor Nobi's daughter, the daughter of the professor who translated the Necronomicon, comes in, and along with her fiance and a local guide who I really do think is modeled off the people they met filming the film in Morristown, Tennessee, the redneck, and his skanky girlfriend, who also gets later tree raped. Don't know what your thing is, Raimi, with the tree rape, but there you go.
Maybe he's like, no one saw it in the first movie, but by damn it, they're gonna...
She gets much less graphically tree raped.
That's what I heard. I heard the first one was really bad.
The first one is literally spraying the leg in a tree limb being shoved of the woman, like that. Like, seriously. But anyway, I digress. And then again, there's another neat writing thing, where they come into this cabin where this has all been going on, and they find Ash here. Well, there's blood everywhere. The woman's father's obviously not there, and her mother's obviously not there, who are supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. They think, holy shit, this maniac, he's covered in blood. This maniac killed my parents.
Of course.
Like, they grab him, throw him into the cellar, lock it down, and keep him down there while they investigate. Of course, they find out he didn't really do that, and one by one, they all end up getting killed, except for Ash and the daughter.
Right.
Who decide, well, the only way to do this is to stop the evil with some passages from the book. Mm-hmm. But the idiot redneck guy had taken the pages they needed from the book and thrown it into the cellar where her mother's zombie waits for them. So Ash gets prepared for battle. And in the scene that probably makes this movie one of the coolest movies ever, he takes the chainsaw, makes a cap for it to fit it on the stub of his hand, which has been cut off by him. Because
didn't his hand get possessed?
It turned evil. It got into my hand and it went bad, so I lopped it off at the wrist.
Yes.
Creates a sort of harness where he can rev the chainsaw by hooking it into the harness and do. And
yeah.
You can't see me. I don't know why I'm making the hand motions, but
Ash is also secretly a genius.
Yes, he's also secretly a genius. Ash is one of the dumbest characters ever, but builds mechanical hands and chainsaws and all sorts of great things.
And has gigantic textbooks in his trunk.
Yes.
Oh, that's for a later.
But that's later. That's later. He saws off his shotgun into a sawed-off shotgun and attacks the woman. They end up creating the physical manifestation of the evil and the portal to shove it into. But in the last gasp, his own hand that's been turned evil kills the woman, and Ash gets sucked into the portal, drops down along with the classic, which is Raimi's 76 Delta, I think is the car. 1970, I think. I could be wrong there.
It's an old car.
It's an old car that has been in every single Sam Raimi movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And this giant flying monster attacks him wherever he is, so he blows it away with his shotgun. And as he does, these medieval knights ride up to him, and their holy man or preacher or whatever comes in and declare him the chosen one who has come from the sky to face the Deadites. And so it goes.
Now, how in the world would someone go, oh, 100 movie? Let's end it in the Middle Ages.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea.
That's a great idea. Let's end it in the Middle Ages.
Well, from what I heard, they wanted to do this with Evil Dead 2 and put it in the Middle Ages, but they didn't have the budget even with the money, and it wouldn't make sense. So they did this as a bridging gap. I don't know if that's true, but I'd heard that.
I heard something like that what they wanted, this is what they wanted to do,
mm-hmm.
And that they didn't get the chance to because it would have just been too expensive.
And kind of absurd.
Still, just to go let's get a guy with a chainsaw in his hand and a shotgun. Let's put him in the Middle Ages. Let's take it to a Ren Fair. I mean,
Now, the neat thing about these films is you've got to remember that these were never rated. I just want you to think about this when you're think about how could a movie come out in today's age and anyone know anything about it without a rating on it.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it to show it in any theaters.
They wouldn't allow it to show it in any theaters. They wouldn't allow it to show it anywhere. And in fact, they were contractually obligated to get an R rating for Evil Dead 2, and they couldn't do it. They never could get an R rating out of it. And later they tried to create a PG version of it for television.
Oh, that's gotta be...
And yeah, it turned out to be more horrific, according to Bruce Campbell, than the one with gore.
Really?
Because cutting the gore out and just lingering on his horrified face as all these things were happening turned out to be scarier than any actual fighting. So yeah, ABC wanted them to do that, and they could never get it done. So that lasted for a few years, and they went on, and Sam Raimi became a decent director. He's a great director, but I mean a known director. I think he did
Darkman?
There was Darkman. He did do Darkman, which was the #1 movie in the country when it released. He wanted to do The Spirit, which later did get made into a movie, but he wanted to do The Spirit, and apparently the people who owned the rights to it hated his ideas of what The Spirit should be. So he's like, so basically I wrote my own Spirit with my ideas of what The Spirit should be. He did Kevin Costner's For the Love of the Game. I don't know if that's before or after. I mean, he started to become a big name director. Yeah. Bruce Campbell became a respectable actor. I'm not going to say he's not quite as high up there as Sam Raimi got.
He's a king of thieves. I mean,
well, that was later.
He still seemed kind of, I don't want to say B.
Well, yeah, he's a B movie. Yeah, B movie. He's a working actor. You know, they asked him when he first came to Hollywood. He went to this talent agency or whatever, they were like, "What? How do you see yourself as an actor?" And he was like, "I'm a working actor." And they were like, "Well, no, you won't work. What do you mean?" He's like, "No, you don't understand. I don't care. I want to be a working stiff actor. At the end of the day, I don't care about being a star. I care about working as an actor. That's all I want."
That's pretty damn awesome.
So,
that's why he's now the buddy for that.
Bird Notice.
Yeah, Bird Notice.
Bird Notice. Yeah, for that series. Which makes me kind of sad because I really don't want to see him get into anything that pays well. Because I want him to do Evil Dead 4. But
he's working for USA. I mean, that doesn't count. And his entire job is to sip alcohol and go on, "Hey,
yes,
you should do this."
He's basically playing the guy from the Old Spice commercial. This is what he's doing. He's playing the guy from the Old Spice commercials, but like during his real life. Like that's just his like party life. This is on non-party days.
So we digress.
We digress. We get into Evil Dead 3, aka Army of Darkness. Once again, they couldn't get the rights to their movie back originally. I think they actually did right before the movie came out, but they couldn't get their. So they had to refilm the end of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
And this film was a true studio film, unlike the other two. It was done by Universal Pictures in combination with Dino De Laurentiis. I'm sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. His production company. And it's not horror at all. It's not horror at all. There's a couple of zombies. There's some skeletons, but it's not a horror.
They finally was able to come out and do a comedy.
I believe that Bruce Campbell termed it a dumbbell flick in his autobiography. So Ash has landed in the medieval times, though they kind of rewrote the end of Evil Dead 2 a little by rather than having it suggested that Ash is immediately accepted as a savior, they lock him up and put him in chains, and he proves that he's really the chosen one by beating this zombie, this deadite they have in a pit that they toss Ash into.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the flick you really want to go easy on the alcohol game if you're doing this.
If
you're playing the every time Bruce Campbell gets hit by something game.
You're going to get wasted.
You know, you need to drink some light beer or something. You'll be drunk at the end. Don't worry.
You could drink like teaspoons.
Yeah.
And still get drunk at the end.
Teaspoons, But Ash is given the task of recovering the Necronomicon so that they can cast this spell that'll put down all the Deadites forever. And he's doing this not because he's a great guy, but because he wants to get back to his own time, and they've told him there's an incantation that will let him do that. It's never actually shown in the film, but it's supposed to put you to sleep, is what it does. It puts you to suspended animation. We'll get more into that when we talk about the end, but... And Ash, from 1 to 2, has gone from 1, he was kind of a wimp that was forced into this situation. 2, he's kind of looking out for number 1, but still a decent guy. And 3, he kind of becomes a dick. Mm-hmm. And he's not really doesn't really want to listen to anyone. He doesn't really, he just wants to get back to his own time and fuck all these other people. Like he's done with this.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I think after having to kill all my friends, then get thrown into a prison, losing my hand, fighting, a demonic mom, then getting tossed to the Middle Ages.
I think this would leave you with that kind of looking out for number one dick attitude.
Yeah.
So he rides off to go get the book, and he's given 3 magic words to say when he picks up the book.
Exactly.
Klaatu, Vrata, Nikto, which anybody who...
I salute you for knowing that offhand.
Anybody who is a science fiction fan should recognize this, because it's actually... It's Klaatu, Vrata, Nikto, which is from, oh my god, Forbidden Planet. The words from Forbidden Planets. They're very famous in science fiction movie history.
Okay, now I feel bad for not knowing them.
And
I'm not. I'm weeaboo.
You guys are science fiction fans, like classic science
whatever
fiction.
nerd.
I'm like a I'll get into it later. Dabbler of science fiction.
Anyway, so this was actually a reference, an end reference. And but Ash doesn't bother to memorize the words correctly. So when he reaches the graveyard, even when it should help him, we'll go into that later. But there's 3 books to the dead. Blah blah blah. He figures out finally which one's the one that's not going to eat his hand off. By the way, important. In between the here and now, Ash has somehow become a genius and figured out how to make a fully working mechanical hand out of only a chainmail gauntlet and some pulleys. Keep in mind, we can't do that now.
Look, Ash is on a entirely different level than us.
Because Ash is a closet genius.
Who works at S-Mart.
And works at S-Mart.
Captain S-Mart.
Captain Supermarket. That's what they call
Captain
him.
Supermarket.
That's what they call him in Japan. Captain Supermarket. I used to have a Japanese Evil Dead poster, and it's really goofy looking. But
I bet they loved him in Japan.
Anyway, but by forgetting the words and saying them incorrectly, he's awoken the army of the dead that's attacking. So he gets back, and they have to fight the army, including an evil version of himself that he's killed not once, but twice at this point.
Yes, chopped up into many pieces and buried.
But manages to destroy both the zombie and the Necronomicon while training the medieval peasants in modern ninja-like warfare with pikes. And building the Death Coaster out of the Delta. He takes the Delta, converts it to steam power. Somehow converts it to steam power and makes it into a giant revolving blade spinning tank that he then uses for about 30 seconds to cut down some zombies before it gets destroyed. Oh, and he teaches them all how to build bombs with gunpowder. He teaches them all how to make gunpowder based on the chemical formulas in the back of his chemistry textbook.
And don't worry, by this point, there's no such thing as suspension of disbelief.
You just go with it.
You hear us talk about Wild Zero, well...
Yes. See, this is great.
It is great.
It has some flaws. It's not as well written as the other movies are, which is kind of weird when you think that the first movie was like a terribly written film, but it really isn't as well written. The lack of the horror element for a lot of fans is gonna throw some fans off because it's not a horror film; it's an action film.
When you see the little midget, Bruce Campbell,
Bruce Campbell's doing the, you can really tell that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell loved the Three Stooges when you watch this film because there's a lot of Three Stooges shit going on in it. But and they actually had to fight a lot with the studio over this one, especially the ending. The original ending, Ash wakes up, takes the potion that'll put him to sleep, but says the words incorrectly again.
Of course.
And wakes up 100 years after he's supposed to have woken up, and looks at a post-apocalyptic world where everything's destroyed. You never really know if it's by the Deadites or nuclear holocaust or what has destroyed the entire world. But something has destroyed the civilization, which was considered too depressing. So they wrote a new ending, and this ending is a very famous ending. It has him recounting his adventures to a bored Ted Raimi, who's Sam Raimi's brother,
right?
Who also plays like 2 other roles in this film, and was the evil horror mom in the second movie. He's the guy in the costume in the second movie, and it got him a Screen Actors Guild card.
I heard that they had to pour the sweat out of that costume.
Yeah, he was the costume was so hot out of latex they would put slits into it to let the sweat drain out. And there's a film somewhere from the special features of them taking his monster feet and pouring the sweat into Dixie cups. Like 4 Dixie cups in a row of sweat.
Now that's horror.
If you watch Evil Dead 2 really closely, in a scene where the monster spins and attacks Ash, you can see sweat flying out of his arm, out of the suit, because they had to cut those slits in it. And
man, I bet that looks glorious in HD.
I'd really love to see an HD version of The Evil Dead. Oh man, I'm going to have to rebuy those on Blu-ray.
Yep.
Anyway, be as it may, the ending that actually got filmed was him recounting his adventures to aboard Ted Raimi at his job at S-Mart, where he works in housewares.
Oh, spoilers.
We've had spoilers throughout this whole
We've had spoilers this whole thing.
No, keep going. I just let them know there's spoilers.
Anyway, when suddenly he's, who obviously Ted Raimi doesn't believe him. When he's attacked by another deadite, he blows the hell out of her by surfing a shopping cart with a shotgun. A rifle. He pulls out of the sporting goods department, and grabs one of the female cashiers. And to quote his very famous line, "Yeah, I could have stayed and been king, but in my own way, I am king." Then he dips and kisses her and says, "Hail to the king, baby." And honestly, I got to tell you what, I like that ending better than the original ending.
Yeah.
All props and respect to Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, who probably like the other ending better, because they really wanted to hurt Ash. Apparently, their philosophy was Ash should never do anything right. The character of Ash should always have horrible things happen to him and never do anything right. And
he may have gotten back to the present, but there's still presumably deadites everywhere, so maybe they got what they wanted.
Maybe they got what they wanted. And it spawned a lot of other things. There's a series of comic books that are out from them, including Marvel Ash versus the Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
Which is mostly terribly written, but by God, Zombie Howard the Duck guys. They put Zombie Howard the Duck in, and that to me was more worth it than the Ash part. Oh, and him hitting on all of the Marvel superhero women. And every time Ash meets a Marvel superhero woman going, "Hey, I like the women in this universe, big tits and spandex." Like, that was cool too.
Yeah, one of the hallmarks of Ash is all his one-liners.
His one-liners.
Yes.
He's a very wisecracking guy, especially in the third film.
Mm-hmm.
Second film, some too, but especially in the third film.
And trust me, if you play a Duke Nukem game, you've already heard them all.
Exactly. There's, like I said, a whole lot of comic books. They're not very well written most of the time, unfortunately.
I wonder if we'll ever get the Jason versus Freddy versus Michael Myers.
It's out in comic books.
Versus Ash?
Jason versus Freddy versus Ash is out in comic books. It's a 5-part miniseries.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, and it came out.
Ash fights everybody. It's almost like the Predator.
Well, the thing is that these comics aren't really endorsed by the Evil Dead guys, as Universal owns the rights to Army of Darkness. They're not Evil Dead comics. They're Army of Darkness comics, and they sold them to Dynamite the rights to make these comics. Like, in fact, there's an interview somewhere where Sam Raimi talks about being really surprised he'd gone into a comic book store to buy something for, like, his nephew or something like that, and there were all these Army of Darkness comics that he hadn't written or was receiving no money for sitting here on the shelf.
Whoa, that's cold.
So I guess we ever get Evil Dead 4, who knows what they'll end up titling it, because...
Yeah, there's the video games.
Yeah.
And most of which are pretty bad, but they have their moments. Mm-hmm. I think Fistful of Boomstick is the best one. It's the first PlayStation 2 game. But most people would tell you Regeneration, which is the second one, is better. The problem with Regeneration was A, it was buggy, and B, the Ted Raimi voiced half Deadite character was stupid. So,
from what I've seen, I have to agree.
But he's kind of funny, I mean, you know.
And the first, and actually they're kind of interesting because they work almost like the trilogy, because the first Evil Dead game is actually scary, and it really is a frightening horror game for PC and Dreamcast and PlayStation 1. The second Evil Dead game is a cross between horror and action, horror and comedy. And the third Evil Dead game is pretty much straight comedy and action. So the video games actually follow the same sort of pattern.
So, is the first one just completely crap aside from being a horror?
It's different. It is a survival horror game of the PlayStation era. And what that means is prepare for Resident Evil 1-like terrible controls. You know, prepare for being at some points just completely running out of ammo and fuel for your chainsaw and not being able to do anything.
Weird, puzzles.
Weird puzzles that have no logical solution. Like it's not a bad game. It's if you liked Resident Evil 1 when you played it on PlayStation, then you'll like probably Evil Dead Hail to the King is I think the name of the first one. It's getting kind of hard to find any but the Dreamcast version now, actually.
Which probably also looks the best, so it's probably where you want to go anyways.
That's where you want to go. They're all bargain titles. I mean, the last two games actually released at $20, like both Fistful of Boomstick and Third Generation. So,
the craziest, I think, reincarnation of the series has been the musical.
Yes, a Canadian-based music company wrote and created Evil Dead the Musical. It's a combination of Evil Dead 1 and 2 with a tiny bit of Army of Darkness in there. And I have the soundtrack. I've never seen it. I really, really would like to see it, but I hear it's a blast. It has the splatter section where you'll get hit by fake blood if you sit in the first 3 rows, and you have to pay special to sit in the first 3 rows to get hit by fake blood. Kind of like a Gallagher performance.
Wow. It's kind of like the plastic sheets.
It's got some really funny stuff in it. There's an entire song sung by the Kandarian Demon Moose, and they sold little Kandarian Demon Moose plushies outside of the. I'd love one of those. By the way, if any of you guys ever finds one, if anybody listening to this ever finds a Canadian Demon Moose plushie, my birthday is Halloween. Let's see. There's was a lot of fun stuff. It played in New York for a while. It played on Broadway. It's back up in Canada right now. It's going through a couple iterations. For the endings actually changed. The original ending was the dropped in time ending. It had a song called "Hail to the King" in it. But I think they decided they didn't like it very much, and it got replaced with an S-Mart ending with a song I really like called "Blew That Bitch Away," in which all the customers sing about how they thought Ash was a jerk and a liar, but now that they've seen him blow that bitch away, he's awesome and their favorite person. Oh man, what was I'm trying to think. There was a specific line in that I love in that, like it's like you're the baddest motherfucker in the whole strip mall. That's what it is. Like that's my favorite line from the Evil Dead musical. Is you're the baddest motherfucker in the whole strip mall. There's a lot of cursing in it, by the way. It's not for adults. They added a zombie.
Not for adults.
Not for adults, not for children.
Well, neither are any of the movies. So.
I mean, they added a slut zombie to the beginning. They have a zombie that's highly suggested just to be a woman they picked up that one of the characters picked up in a bar earlier. And there's several references to sleeping with zombies in the song.
Man, that's harkens back to Wild Zero 2.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Man, maybe that's what they were referring to when they were saying, this is the Japanese equivalent of Evil Dead. Maybe just meant the musical.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of rock music and crazy stuff happening. I don't know.
There was supposed to be an Evil Dead remake coming out. Sam Raimi basically wanted to fund a unknown director and actors and writers to create their own version of Evil Dead to kind of get them into the film industry the way that Evil Dead got him into it. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of fallen through. I don't think that's ever actually going to happen.
Oh, damn. And
Sam Raimi has made several rather cryptic references at conventions the last year and a half about writing Evil Dead 4 with his brother. Mm-hmm. But God knows if that's ever actually going to occur.
Well, is he actually working on Spider-Man 4?
No one knows. No one knows if he's on like that. I haven't, or if they do, I haven't seen it.
So where was the Delta in Spider-Man movies? I just want to know.
It's Uncle Ben's car. That gets in the first movie. It's Uncle Ben's car that drops Peter Parker off to where to the wrestling match. Mm-hmm. In the second movie, I think it's Parker. I think Spider-Man's driving it. and I can't remember where it is. I think it gets crushed in the third movie. Like, I think it's just a car that gets crushed by Sandman at some point in the third movie. Yeah, it's been in everything he's ever done, except for The Quick and the Dead, I guess. It would be really hard to wedge the Delta into The Quick and the Dead. But that I think, to quote Bruce Campbell, that car has been in more movies than I have. Anyway, and those are the Evil Dead movies. This is a big overview. Trying to think of anything else cool. It's out on a million versions of DVD. If you want my advice, for each version, I would buy the very basic Evil Dead version. Mm-hmm. I would buy the Book of the Dead version of Evil Dead 2, or if you can find it, the Collector's Tin. The Collector's Tin is really hard to find and will probably run you about $50 on eBay.
Man, I'm gonna go have to count all these after.
Army of Darkness, I believe there's a cheap 2-disc edition that includes both versions of the movie now. The director's cut and the original. I own 2 separate discs because originally it came out as one movie, the theatrical movie, and then there was the official bootleg edition, which actually was packaged to look like it was in a brown paper bag. And it was the cover on it was markered official bootleg. And there was rumors for a while there was going to be a chainsaw edition of Army of Darkness, but I think that's fallen through. I don't think they're
They could just take all the leftover, GameCube controllers from the Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, from Resident Evil 4.
And just stick it in there somewhere.
I was planning to use that for... Anyway, I'll tell you about it in a second. But,
So what would the chainsaw edition be?
It would be packaging shaped like a chainsaw, basically. The first Book of the Dead just looks like the Book of the Dead from the film. The second one looks like it, and I think looks a little different and makes noise. I think there's a spot you push its eye in. That's right. You poke its eye and it screams.
Awesome.
And I think the third one was supposed to look like a chainsaw and rev. There's a ton of merchandise out there for it. You should all buy some. I know that Lee here is wearing one of the shirts that I considered buying at Anime Weekend Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Well, that's Army of Darkness.
Listen, baby. I'm not some preppy boy toy monkey boy you can just push around, see? I killed that guy already.
How can you be so heartless? So bad?
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
I still don't know what you're even doing here in this cabin.
I could ask you the same question.
It's my family's cabin.
Did I ask?
Are all men from Michigan such loudmouthed braggarts?
Nope. Just me, baby. Just me.
So, how Evil Dead is the Evil Dead? How voluminous is the Army of Darkness?
Give me back my hand. I'm sorry, I had to do it at some point.
Yes.
It gets a groovy number of chainsaws out of the Army of Darkness to me. That's what it gets, a groovy number of chainsaws out of the Army of Darkness. Groovy into infinity.
Yes.
But what you can't tell is the infinity is actually made of corpse hands. Just wrap it around each other,
You're the good ass, and I'm the...
I'm badass, and you're good ass.
Goody two-shoes.
Little goody two-shoes. Okay, we're getting goofy. That's a wrap.
Stop sucking basil.
I'm so good at it. And again, thanks for listening to us. If you need to contact us, you can always check us our website, OSMcast.com. Chances are you've already been there to listen to this already. Just drop on down and give us a little comment in the comment section.
Or email us at osmcast@gmail.com.
Or leave us a message at the OSMline. Area code 206-202-0071. Or, like I said, leave us a message. I'll take comments. It even fixes our broken web design sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's not really broken. It's a weird thing where...
It's called a glitch, Basil.
Okay, fine, a glitch. Look, when you click on the individual posts, you don't get the background unless for some reason someone leaves a comment. So leave us comments. We want to know you exist. Do it.
We know you're out there.
Do it now.
We can hear you breathing. Totally, I'm like right behind you.
And he's telling you to leave a comment. Or, voicemail is also cool because if we don't get voicemails, we don't actually get to keep the voicemail number. And we'll actually answer questions online on the air.
With your actual voice, it'll be awesome. Do it, man. Do it now.
You should talk to us. Totally. We're so lonely.
Hey, I didn't say that.
Yes, he did. He's saying it with his soul. Okay, no, we're out. Leave a comment.